Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I want to podcast on how to recognize game, okay? Now, there's a couple of things I need to bring up for a couple of people that are newbies out there, and there's some people that don't really even understand the game, all right? Like, in the beginning, the people that are, the rookies out there that are new in dating, or, maybe somebody just got divorced and now they're dating, and the dating scene is definitely different than before you got married, or even for, some of the younger people that have never been married that are out there and they just don't understand, why am I getting ghosted? Why doesn't anybody want commitment? Why do people play these games? Okay? Because you got to understand something, you guys. In today's society, a lot of people are out for what is in their best interest, and they will look for certain benefits in you, okay? Now, benefits could be anything. See, this is what a lot of people don't recognize. Benefits aren't necessarily just sex. And benefits aren't necessarily just getting money out of somebody, like the scammers out there that have flooded, the dating apps, okay? And the escorts out of there that are now on the dating apps that, went from Backpage now are all over the dating apps. So you got a lot of scammers, you got a lot of escorts, and you have a lot of people out there that are lost, okay? They're lost. That's why I always say, the dating apps today is not really a good place to find somebody, because it's not the same as it was years ago. Years ago, yeah, you went on a dating app and people dated. Yes, they dated. And yeah, you had your people back then that were looking for sex, but you had more sincere people on there that were looking for relationships. Now, that's not to say that there aren't people on there today that are looking for relationships. Yes, there are some people on there that are looking for relationships, and I would have to say a lot of them are the women. A lot of the women are looking for relationships. Not everybody. Some women are out there just having fun. But the point that I'm making with all of this is that people don't understand the game, okay? So the game is basically your way of trying to get what you want out of somebody, okay? And people play all kinds of games to try to, it's a way of like manipulation of how to get something off somebody or how to use somebody, all right? That's why you got a lot of heartbreak podcasts. That's why you got a lot of people that are brokenhearted and, have breakups. That's why you have a lot of married men and married women on the dating apps or on social media creeping on their partners, okay, and all playing game, okay? They're talking to other people on social media. They're not telling them that they're in relationships. They're not telling them even that they're in situationships. They may be technically single, okay? But they may be in a situationship, which means basically somebody they have sex with now and then, all right? So when they're getting involved with you and you're saying to yourself, why isn't this person following through? Why isn't this person available on the weekends? Because they could be with their situationship, all right? But they're not going to tell you this, okay? That's why you have to read between the lines and watch these people. You have to, you got to be fine-tuned into people's actions and what they do. A lot of people, they chase people down. Why didn't you call me? You said you were going to call me, this and that. You should never have to chase anybody down, you guys, all right? You want somebody who wants you, not that you have to go looking for them, okay? But trust me when I tell you, if they want you, they will beat your door down, all right? So, you have to see if somebody, if they follow through in their actions, if they make a date and they follow through. Are they planning a date? Are they consistent? Are they wanting to see you consistently? Or are they flaky? Are they flaking off? Why are they flaking off? Because they're either juggling a lot of people or they have somebody, all right, that they see or, they have sex with or whatever the situation is. the bottom line is they're not focusing in on you. And you've got to pick up on it. And you've got to, depending on what you're looking for, if you're somebody that's looking to date with a purpose and date with finding somebody to have a potential partner, then you don't waste your time with these flakes, with these people that, are not reliable, that you don't know on a Thursday if you're going to be seeing them over the weekend because they leave you hanging. We get this all the time in the groups, okay? Oh, I don't know what's going on. He said he wanted to see me, and I haven't heard from him all day, and it was like a Saturday, okay? I'll tell you what's going on. You are an option, and something else came through for him, and that's why he's not contacting you. And for him to just kind of fall off, when he said he had plans with her that night, and then all of a sudden he's not even contacting her or anything. When he comes back and he contacts you, that's when you have to step back and not deal with that person, okay? Because you're not going to deal with people that don't respect you, that can't even cancel on you, or if you're dealing with somebody who's always canceling on you, then you know that this person is not making you a priority. This is what I mean about picking up on, what's going on. And you have to be able to see the games as well, you guys. Like one of my girlfriends, she was dealing with this guy that she met in one of the groups. And he came on strong. He posted on her timeline. And he said something like, I inboxed you. I didn't hear from you, blah, blah, blah. So she contacts him. And then he starts bombarding her with messages telling her, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, this and that. I just went on a date, but, I wish I was with you, this and that. And this, when somebody comes off like this, okay, you are dealing with a straight up clown, okay? Straight up clown. Because he hasn't even had conversations with her. She's only got a few pictures on her profile. He doesn't even know who she is. And he's telling her that he wishes he was with her, okay? That is telling you that you are dealing with a zero. And that is somebody that you don't put a lot of your effort into, okay? Anybody that comes on strong like that without knowing anything about you is somebody who is a $9 bill. Okay, what's a $9 bill? He's a fake. All right, he's a fake. He's somebody who's trying to love bomb you a little bit and make you think like, he's so enamored of me. No, okay, don't fall for the nonsense. All right, I've talked about different things that people do in game. The love bombing, the breadcrumbing, the benching. All of these kind of games that people play. And go back and listen to those episodes that I did, you guys, the earlier episodes, and you'll understand more if you're not aware of it right now. But one of the other things that I want to bring up is this, you guys. Like people say, where are all the good men, blah, 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 blah. There are good men out there. But you have to recognize a good man, just like you have to recognize a good woman, all right? But see, here's the problem. Everybody's so damn picky, okay? And I tell you, the older you get too, it's amazing how picky they are. Even in some of our groups, we have groups that we have divorced people, older people, over 40 people, over 30 people. And these people are picky, all right? Like the women want somebody over 6 feet. The guys want somebody with the body of a supermodel. So everybody has these, credentials. And that's why everybody is not connecting here. That's what's going on. So not only do you have those things going on, then you have the people that are jumping around, that are dating 5 people at once, that are never giving you their attention. They contact you whenever they feel like contacting you. They're not showing you enough because they don't know what they want, because they're just going from one to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, because they have no interest in really getting to know you. They rather just jump around and go on these multiple dates and hope to, have sex. These are people that are out there searching out sex, okay? So you got to be aware of that. Now, I want to bring up something else, you guys. In the beginning, it's very hard to recognize who's real and who's fake, right? That's why a lot of people are confused. They're always like, how do you know if this person is real? How do I know if this person really likes me? You're not going to know in the beginning. It's going to take time. This is the biggest problem that people make, is when they rush into something, they, number one, don't know who they're dealing with, okay? And number two, it usually comes on strong and it burns out fast. This happens a lot, because a lot of these people, they come on strong, they tell you everything you want to hear. They keep you on the phone in the beginning. In the beginning, they're going to be on the phone with you, okay? Because they're trying to fool you into thinking like, ooh, they're so into you. They're so into you. But like I've said before, do they keep it up? In the next couple of weeks, are they getting on the phone and being consistent with you and trying to get to know you and ask you questions about yourself and all these other kinds of things, right? And are they making plans to see you on a regular basis, okay? How much attention are they giving you? Now, remember what I tell you. It's not what comes out of someone's mouth. I don't care what comes out of their mouths, all right? Because people lie all the time. This is game, all right? So stop believing everything that comes out of their mouth. You got to make a mental note. You got to train your brain, all right? And just because you're an honest person doesn't mean that the next guy is honest. So you have to, it's like when you work in a business and you're dealing with people. You don't take what comes out of their mouth as necessarily them telling you the truth. Like, for instance, if they say something to you, like when you're in business and they say something to you like, I'm going to pay you next week. When you're in business and you're dealing with money, and especially if you're dealing with a lot of money, what are you going to do? You're going to have them put it in writing, right? You're going to back up what they're saying so that if they don't, repay, let's say, a loan or something like that, there's going to be consequences for it. Because in business, you don't take people at face value. And the same thing for when it comes to relationships. In relationships, people have to earn your trust. And the only way somebody is going to earn your trust is in time. Time, all right? And that doesn't mean, a couple of good dates, all right? Because people could put on the act in the beginning for the first, let's say even the first month, if they could even make it that long, they're going to put on the act trying to show you that they're so into you and everything like that for some kind of benefit, all right? For you to put your guard down so that maybe either A, you'll sleep with them, or maybe B, they could ask you for something financial or something along those lines. There's people that use you for 1,000 different things, okay? I've seen guys that try to use women to put their car in her name, okay? Because they have bad credit or whatever. So people can use you in multiple different ways. People can use you for ego, for their ego, just knowing that you're there is a sense of security that, I have somebody. If, my option 1 and 2 doesn't work out, I know that she's there as my backup, okay? So you don't want anybody to use you as, option number 3 when, the options 1 and 2 don't pan out, all right? So you have to be able to read these people. And this is what I'm trying to teach you guys, how to read people. And the way you read people is by their behavior. What type of behavior are they giving you? What are they showing you? Like they say all the time, like when people get married, all right? And they're going to get married and everything like that. What do they say? What are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table, right? What do you have to offer? What makes you so special to that person? Okay? And when you're dating out there and you're dealing with somebody and you don't know, is this person really into me? Sometimes they really show me they're into me, but then I don't hear from them or whatever, but then they said they're busy at work and everything like that. You have to know how to read between the lines. And you have to, there's different clues, all right? Like, for instance, if you met somebody in the beginning and they keep bringing up sex, all right? Right there, you already know what it is, okay? Because people that respect you don't do that. They just don't do that because they respect you, and that's not something somebody would bring up in the beginning unless they're testing you to see, how receptive you are to that. And that lets them know, oh, you know what? She's going to be easy to get sex off of because look at her talking dirty with me on our second conversation already. You see what I mean? You see how people try you? This is exactly what I'm talking about. And like for guys with women, women trying guys, I've seen women try men in the first. I've had guy friends come to me and tell me that they've talked to women, and within the first conversation, these women are looking for money out of them. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, and I'm going through a hard time, and you think you could help me out? And I'm like, they brought this up on the first conversation. They're like, yeah, you believe this? They brought this up on the first conversation. So this is what I mean about people testing you and trying you, okay? Now, I want to bring up this whole issue about somebody giving you their time, all right? Because a lot of players know that. They know that you're watching them in the beginning and you're looking to see how much, attention they give you in the beginning or how much time they give you. See, this is a classic player thing, all right? Is what they do is in the very beginning, let's say the first week, they're going to be on the phone with you for hours, okay? And you're going to think to yourself, wow, this person's so into me. Look at all the time they're spending on the phone with me. Look how they're, texting me all day long. They're calling me all day long. I don't care. Okay? I'm going to say it again. I don't care. It's week 1. When they're doing that, week 5, 6, 7, and 8, then, we got something. And they're making plans to see you on a regular basis. Then maybe we have something, all right? Not that you rush and you have sex with that person. You still take your time because you got to see the level of conversation they're giving you. You got to see if this is a surface level person or if this person is getting in depth and trying to know who you are, okay? When somebody's really interested in you, it's almost like a job interview. They're going to ask you questions about, your past, your exes, where you went to school, about your work. They're going to ask about, your family life and what you've been through and stuff like that. Why? Because they're seeing you for a long-term thing. They're not just seeing you for a one-night stand or something like that. Somebody who's just looking at you, for sex or whatever it is, ego or whatever it is, they will not care about those kind of things. That's where this is just classic player, you guys. That's where a lot of people get fooled is because they feel because in the beginning, and when I say in the beginning, in the first 2, 3, even 4 conversations, even if they go that far, I usually, it's usually in the first or second conversation, they try to get through the basics and try to say stuff to you like, okay, are you divorced? Do you have kids? What do you do for a living? Those are the big ones. Those are the big questions. Do you have kids? Are you divorced? Oh, the other one is how old are you? Okay. But if they're not getting into the nitty gritty with you, if they're not, asking you on week 2, week 3, week 4 questions and you're not getting into conversations the way you would get into conversations with good friends, then guess what? They don't care. They don't care about who you are. All right? And you got to pick up on that. You can't be fooled by week 1, week 2, or week 3. Okay? Because they know in the beginning they got to put on that act. All right? But what do I tell you all the time? They can't keep it up. And usually, if they even make it past 2 weeks, the fake ones fall off. Why? Because you're too much work. Because they're really not interested in you for long term. So they fall off and they move to the next. And then what they do is you don't hear from them and then they come back. Hey, how you doing? Remember me? Hey, how's it going? Or you get the WYD text, what are you doing? Which is like, you're dealing with a zero, all right? Anybody who sends you that stupid WYD text is somebody who really doesn't give a shit about you, okay? I'm sorry, I'm going to say it like it is, all right? Because that is just somebody who's got nothing better to do. Maybe they're bored. Maybe they have nothing going on. Maybe they're going through a dry spell and they're hitting you up, WYD, all right? Don't even waste your time to somebody like that, because that is somebody who's not making an effort to try to get to know you, okay? And don't waste your time with people that give you the token text in the morning, good morning, beautiful, good night, beautiful. And then, they have nothing else to say. Okay. Because then you're dealing with, another zero. And don't waste your time with these people that just send emojis, like the little kissy emoji or kisses. And then they don't even try to talk to you. All right. They're not trying to talk to you because they don't care. They don't care. Or they're texting a bunch of different people at once. So they can't put a lot of work into you because they're all over the place, all right? This is somebody that you will go nowhere with. Nowhere with. Believe me when I tell you, all right? You want somebody with depth, somebody that can, have a conversation with you, somebody who cares. All right. So when you're dealing with these people, you got to ask yourself, do they really care who I am? Okay. Are they just looking at me from the physical aspect? How pretty I am? Are they just complimenting me on my looks and everything like that, but they have nothing else to them? This is how you're going to know. This is how you're going to know. And it's not just within the first week or two, okay? This is why I tell you, it's an endurance game. You got to screen these people, because if you just go along, go with the flow, if you just go with the flow, you're going to be wasting your time talking, texting with people that have no intention of going anywhere with you, okay? So the bottom line is this, you guys. It doesn't matter what these other people do. It's how you handle it. It's how you react to it, okay? And the reason that people get caught up in the mess is because they allow these people to string them along, all right? So when you see anybody playing games, when you see somebody who is not reliable, when you see somebody, who's made conversation with you and then all of a sudden they go silent on you or something like that, then you know that this person is not who they are trying to portray, all right? Because people that are real, they don't leave you in the dark. They're transparent. People that are real are transparent. All right? There is no mystery. All right? Because they don't need to play games with you. They want you to feel confident because they want you. They want something with you. So they want to be close to you. All right? So if you're dating somebody and you feel like you're not connected with that person, or you felt like you were connected and now you don't feel like you're connected, then it's not what you thought it was, that you made assumptions that this person was somebody who they weren't. So no matter what games are being played out there, the way you beat the game is not to play the game, is to distance yourself, okay? It's like dealing with toxic people. There are going to be toxic people all over the place. There's toxic people all over the place in this world, okay? We call them narcissists. That's the big thing today, right? Oh, that one's a narcissist, or this one's a narcissist, or that one, or this one's toxic, or blah, 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 blah. Here's the bottom line, you guys. You are not going to change these people, okay? Just like you're not going to change people from playing games and dating. But what you are in control of is what you allow and how you allow people to treat you, and what you accept and what you don't accept. Okay? So if you feel that somebody is stringing you along, or somebody's playing games with you, or somebody's not consistent with you, you got to step back from that. Because if you don't step back from that, you're going to be in the mess. So I'm going to just sum up in a nutshell, although I could go on and on about this, how to recognize game. Here's the bottom line, okay? The bottom line is this: you have to trust your gut. And when you're getting to know somebody, if something doesn't seem right, then there's a reason why it doesn't seem right. Okay. So then you have to, you have to check yourself and say to yourself, I have to stop thinking about what this person said to me, and I have to look at their actions. Okay. I have to see, are their actions matching up to what they're telling me? And if they're not, then you're not dealing with somebody who's true blue. Okay. You're dealing with somebody who's giving you a lot of nonsense. So, ways that you recognize game is the biggest way you're going to recognize game is if you move slowly, okay, you will not get played in game. People that get played in game are people that move fast with somebody, people that sleep with somebody right away, and then the person doesn't call them again, or the person calls them whenever they feel like calling them for a booty call or anything like that. Or if you're, not smart enough and you give somebody money, within the first 6 months or whatever, and you're not really realizing that this person is a scammer. This is how people get played and everything like that. You have to look at this person's pattern. You have to look at how this person makes you feel. But the thing is, okay, don't always trust how you feel, because when you're dealing with a lot of fake, phony people, they're going to make you feel great in the beginning. And that's why you get misled. That's why you trust too soon. So, like I told you, trust is earned. Trust takes time. People have to earn your trust, okay? So you have to be very cautious out there in this world, because you're dealing with all different kinds of people out there that don't always have good intentions, that aren't always who they say they are, okay? And you're going to know by, the consistency, the pattern, and if they follow through. And that will take time. That will take time to see if these people are following through and seeing you and calling you, who they are. Because the longer you get to know somebody and you take it slowly, the more you're going to be able to recognize if they have somebody on the side even, okay? So many people are out there and they're meeting people and they don't even realize that person's got someone on the side. They have a girlfriend, they have a wife, they have a situationship, they have a guy, okay? So the only way you're going to know is by seeing how much time this person gives you, by getting on that phone and talking to you and trying to get to know you. And you're going to see by week 3, week 4, week 5, are they keeping it up? Are they keeping it up? Because the people that aren't keeping it up are the ones that really aren't that into you. Okay? Or they have something else going on, or they have 5 options or whatever. Okay? And, the biggest problem today is that people sit there in the dark that don't know what game is, because nobody ever taught them what game is. And so they don't recognize game. And then they're strung along by these people, they're being used by these people, because they end up, in the case of being used for sex, they're used for sex by these people. After a month, they're sleeping with the person. After 3 dates, they're sleeping with the person thinking, oh, this person gave me so much attention week 1, week 2. And then by week 3 and 4, that person is nowhere to be found. Or that person backs off and says, I'm not really looking for something right now, or I'm going through a lot in my life. Or all of a sudden, you're going to see Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, all right? They're going to change up, and you're going to say to yourself, this person was not who I thought they were, okay? So we don't make any judgments when we start out dating. We take it slowly, and then after we've been dating that person, we see that the consistency is on point. The person is trying to get in depth and try to know us, and showing us respect. And we're showing the same respect back. You guys got to give the same mutual respect back to that person and give them the same energy they give you. You can't be a deadbeat either, okay? If somebody's giving you, the attention, the time, you give it back to them as well, okay? But that doesn't mean that you move quickly. That's the thing. And that's how you recognize the games. And the other thing I want to bring up is this with the social media. I've brought this up on, some of my other podcasts. Don't always go by somebody's social media whether or not they have somebody, because a lot of these people, a lot of the smooth ones, they have backup profiles where they don't have their girl or they don't have their guy on that profile, and that's what they add you to, okay? So you may be looking at that profile or be on that profile, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever other, social media platform it is, and you may be saying to yourself, oh, well, they don't have somebody else. You don't know that yet because they could have 4 other profiles. I know people that have tons of different profiles with different names, different nicknames, this and that, and they may have somebody else, okay? So the only way you're going to know that is by if they're consistently wanting to see you on a regular basis and they're not disappearing on you. People that disappear on you that's game right there. Game, okay? I don't care how busy somebody is. If somebody's getting to know you, somebody likes you, you've had conversations with them, a few conversations with them and everything's flowing good, and they're telling you, they really want to get to know you, that they're looking for something real with somebody, okay? They're not going to be consistent for, 4 days, 5 days, and then the next 3 days you don't hear from them, okay? That is game, okay? So that's what I'm letting you guys know, all right? That these are people that, like I said before, they come on strong in the beginning, and a lot of the fake ones, they back off or they fall off and then they come back. This is the way they, they rotate everything in their lives. So, that's how you can avoid being somebody's option or somebody's side thing. Okay? I hope that helps you. If it did, hit the subscribe button and share. And the other thing is, you guys, when you see these things, don't be a tag along and don't hang on to somebody in hopes that they're going to change. All right? How much they show you is how much they like you, okay? So if they're showing you a lot during the week and then the weekends they never make plans with you, then guess what? They're not all into you, or a lot of cases they have somebody else that they're seeing on the weekends. So it's not, the long telephone conversations you've had during the week if they're not moving forward and seeing you on a regular basis on the weekends, okay? All right, you guys, don't forget, please share the podcast and have a great day. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. I want to tell you about my 2 books that are on Amazon, okay? You can download them free with the trial membership from Kindle. The first book is Regain Your Power. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner has all the control in the relationship, maybe you're walking around on eggshells, you're afraid to approach them, it's going to tell you how to regain your power and be happy in the relationship, okay? And what you may be doing wrong, and that's why your partner has all the control in the relationship. The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time. There's a lot of people that are dating someone or in a relationship with somebody who's not really vested in the relationship. And we often are confused as to whether our partner really likes us or is into us or wants a future with us. And this book is going to give you signs and red flags of whether your partner is into you or he's just basically drifting and wasting your time. So go to Amazon and download the Kindle free trial membership. Doesn't cost you anything. And check it out. It may help you. Okay? And have a great day. Audible is offering listeners a 30-day trial. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free 30-day trial. You get to select any book that you want on there and listen to it. They have books on there about breadcrumbing, love bombing, why did they lose interest, dating, relationship, any kind of book you're interested in and want to learn about, okay? You could listen to it in your car or if you're on the bus or the train. So go to my podcast description for the link at tinyurl.com/AskYazNow and start your free trial.